Well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and whoever or whatever you identify as. Welcome back to the Shed of Dread. Welcome to another video. Right then, people who make their minds up on something before they've even watched it. Bit of a weird one, that. Not just that, though. There is the people who already decide what a programme is going to be like, a show's going to be like, before they've watched it, and then still hate it because they were going to hate it from the beginning. And I just don't understand the logic behind this. We'll start, for instance, we'll start with Star Wars, with Obi-Wan, which I've just watched the first 2 episodes and I thought it was brilliant. And on the upcoming Andor, which looks very interesting, the video for my little trailer reaction will be up on the channel. I'm not sure whether it'll be before this or after this, depends on how we upload them. But in any case, and people are automatically going, oh, it's going to be woke, it's going to be crap, it's going to be awful, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, that's going to happen, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Based on The Last Jedi. Based on what Disney did with their 3 films. Which I fully, heartedly and completely agree with. The 3 Disney Star Wars trilogy films were diabolical. There's many, many reasons for it, but the simple truth of the matter is, unlike the other 6, which had a logical progression and a general idea of what they were going to do in all 6, the last 3, which were done by Disney, had no plan, nothing really linked together. It was just 3 messed up films that made no reference. It was just, they were just terrible, and their sole purpose seemed to be, for all intents and purposes, to destroy off the established characters. That was it. Wasn't more of a passing the torch, like Ghostbusters Afterlife, for instance. It was more eliminate the old, so they could just go away, and then replace them with very shallow, very poorly created characters. So I get that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that everything else Star Wars that Disney do is going to be bad. The Mandalorian, which I will eventually catch up with the reviews on this channel. It's going to take me a while to get back to that, but the first 2 series of The Mandalorian and the 3rd one that's coming, the first 2 series I thought were good. Bordering on, well, not even okay, they were good, they were enjoyable, I enjoyed it, it was entertaining, it was a different spin, it linked in a little bit, it made sense. And then along came the Book of Boba Fett, that a lot of people said, and I mean, I suppose, everybody's entitled to their opinion, that they thought it was boring, and yes, just, as it's Boba Fett and it's sort of an established character, yes, there were issues, which again I'll cover when I do the reviews of the Book of Boba Fett. Some people said it's boring. It took a while for it to set, but a lot of it was the character development and the story creation. But I still thought it was okay. It was not bad at all. And then I've just watched the first 2 series of Obi-Wan, and or the first 2 episodes of the series. A review will be up on the channel later. And again, I thought it was okay. What I seem to find is a lot of people. When I go into a TV show, even though I've got the spectre of previous things, I mean a bit like Star Trek, which I'll touch in a minute, where you got previous series and that hangs over in the back of your mind. Oh dear, I always think, well, you know what? Let's just give it a chance. Let's just see what it's going to be like. And if it's bad, it's bad, and if it's good, it's good. Okay, it's fine to raise the potential and the issues or the worries that you have about the upcoming series, but don't let that impede your ability to watch. For instance, with Obi-Wan, it's going to be woke. Now, I sat and watched it and I thought there was no wokeness in it whatsoever. And again, I understand that people, like opinions, have different levels of woke. But I went in thinking, well, okay, we'll see. But then again, I based my opinion on entering Obi-Wan on the fact that I enjoyed both The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. So I thought, well, maybe this one will be in the same sort of ilk, and to be fair, it's not that bad. And that's the same for Star Trek. Again, Star Trek, the JJ verse, that was not so bad, the JJ verse, because it had a great way of doing it, because it pulled it in an alternate reality, didn't it? An alternate version of the timeline, that made perfect sense. But we got Discovery, which was abysmal. There is no 2 ways of saying it. Discovery was abysmal. They put it in the wrong position in the timeline, so it made no sense. it was just a terrible, terrible TV series. And then along came Picard, which is a series that in reality I don't think anyone wanted, and it was dull and boring and silly, and I mean it's just ended with the Borg saving humanity. It's like, okay, so those two series were bad, but then along comes Strange New Worlds, and if you've been watching my channel, I've already done my reaction to the intro, and then I've done episodes 1, 2 and 3. I'm going to do episode 4 very shortly, of what I describe as a bloody good Star Trek show. It really is. But again, very much akin to this is people have already decided it's going to be rubbish because of something way back then, because of Picard, because of Discovery, and in reality you're missing out on a good show. But also I find that these people have this pre-designed, it's going to be woke, it's going to be rubbish, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, and instead of just sitting and watching and enjoying it, they spend their time trying to find something that they can either point to and go, see, I told you, or manipulate in such a way as it's woke and it's, and it's terrible. And I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but a lot of people who still watch, don't agree with a lot of the stuff they're doing now. They're looking for a reason. They're looking for something to be able to say, see, I told you so. Now, we can go to Doctor Who. Now, you are, if you've watched my channel, fully aware of the concerns and misgivings I have of the upcoming Doctor Who series. But I then go at the end and say, even though, I've said all this, I hope I'm wrong, and I will be watching. Because I like to judge things on the show itself. There is nothing wrong with airing your worries, concerns, consider, what could bother you, annoy you about a show. That's fine. Absolutely fine, because you're right. But you shouldn't then carry these misgivings over to the show and then specifically sit there looking for that particular thing that you can go to, I told you. Which is a shame, because a lot of people I think are, and again, my opinion, what do I know? Just a fat bloke sitting in a shed surrounded by his toys. But in my opinion, you're blinkering yourself and stopping yourself enjoying what potentially could be a very enjoyable show, a very enjoyable romp. Strange New Worlds is very, very good, and when I do the episode 4 review, episode 4 was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, a decent, good old-fashioned Star Trek episode. But then again, so were all the other 3 before. I thought there were 3 of the upgoing ones were brilliant. Overview quickly on Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's a slow build, I think. It's slow build in some respects. In other places, yes, there's a few canon issue things that I'll touch on in the review, but in the long run, and it's good. It is good. It doesn't. I mean, I could just look at it and go, "Oh, shit," because I think it's. But no, I enjoyed it. I mean, Strange New Worlds and Obi-Wan have issues, have niggly canon issues, but not so much as to ruin what I'm watching. And a lot of people are already saying things about all this, that and the other, but you've watched 2 episodes, you've got to give it time and see if, and it's a big if because they might not, but if they actually address these issues. They might not. They might just ignore them and so be it, and then you're just going to have to live with that. I think sometimes it's whether you can let go of canon. As I've said, it's when you fundamentally excuse me, change the core canon, like in Doctor Who, the Doctor's 900 years old, he comes from Gallifrey, he's a Time Lord, and the first one was William Hartnell. That's what I call the core canon. Everything else is, I always allow flexibility. It's like I could be extremely anally retentive when it comes to Star Trek and Star Wars, but there are some things that I'm allowed to just, I don't like that. That's wrong, but I'm going to let it go and see how they go with it. So what I'm trying to say is, in reality, although these big YouTubers, I'm not going to say who they are because I don't do that shit personally. They're a victim of their own success, and their success has been back in the day when everything was bad and woke and terrible. And the Last Jedi was a pile of shit and all this stuff. And when the original Fandom Menace was created, that was right and justified. But as time's gone on, you can't keep holding on to the past failures and automatically presume that anything else that's coming out is going to be as bad as that, because that's unfair and that's unjust, in my opinion. So because their success was because of that, that's what they are always going to cling on to, because it's their bread and butter, which is not a bad thing. I'm not, and some people go, "Oh, you're having a moan about." I'm not having a moan about. What I'm saying is that's fine, because it's all opinions, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? It's all opinions. But I just sometimes wish that people would go into watching things with an open mind and forget what happened in the past. Just put it on the back burner. It'll still sit there, and just see, without spending your time to either find something or to a flaw in the film and niggle in the film and turn it into, or show and turn it into something that's bigger than it actually is, just for clicks and likes. It's a bit poor, really, because you're missing out. And that, again, my humble opinion. Hey, but as I said before, what I know, I'm just a fat bloke sitting in his shed surrounded by his toys. But you let me know what you think. Comment section down below, always open. If you bother to look at my comment section, there are times where people put comments where they don't agree with me, and that's absolutely fine. There are no wrong opinions in my comment section, because everybody's entitled to one, as long as we stick to the bounds of law, ladies and gentlemen. Other than that, you feel free to do whatever you wish, and that would be great. So, I'll bring this one to a close. If you enjoyed this one, then just give it a thumbs up and a share. If you really like what I'm doing, then you could consider subscribing. And to all those new subscribers that I've just got, I'm now up to 79, which I'm... Oh, right there. Really, I don't know, some people go, but it's true. Without people subscribing, without people liking, sharing, or even commenting, whether they agree with me or not, this would just be me talking to a camera, and that would all it would be. I need a shave. I do apologise. So please subscribe. To those of you who have subscribed, for those who like, those who comment, those who watch, those who nip in for 30 seconds and disappear, those who wish to watch it to the end just because they don't like it and they want to have a say or a thumb down or whatever, thank you. Thank you, all of you, from the bottom of my heart, for all the support you've given me. I mean, I think it was 2 weeks ago I put up a thing that had gone over 3,000 views. I've now over 4,000 views. And that's all because of you wonderful people. Giving me the time of, that little moment in time of your day just to see what this fat bloke got to say about stuff. And that really gets me there. Or was that indigestion? Any case, no, it's genuine. I'm genuinely touched and feel honoured that you like what I have to say. So with that, and as always, before I get all too emotional and my head swells too much and all that sort of stuff, I'm going to leave you. Thanks for watching. As always, I'm going to love you and leave you. Every watch, every view, every comment, every subscription means a lot to me. And it's always fully appreciated, and I am forever grateful. So until the next one, ladies and gentlemen, goodbye.